Good morning, everybody. No makeup this morning. I had to fix me a little bit of something to eat and a cup of coffee. I got to get out there and finish mowing. I was debating whether to put weed barrier down from a watermelon or just go out there and mow the grass. And I don't know if our rainy spell is over or what's going to take place. I don't want my watermelon running across the grass and just getting all entangled in it. Not as deep as it is. But I thought maybe if I mowed, it'll quit raining so much and most of the grass will die off. But I don't know. You never know what's going to happen with the weather in Texas, so we'll see. Shows I got 6 people watching this morning. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I had a rough night. I think I woke up about every hour or so and had to get up and either go to the restroom or just get up because I couldn't sleep. Trying to bring this live chat up on the computer so I can see who's in here. Six watching. I don't have anybody in live chat, but that's okay. But y'all have a cup of coffee with me this morning before I get out there and start mowing. I had to get woke up. That means a cup of coffee. Had to get something in my stomach. So this morning I chose a sweet roll. Might be a bad decision, but that's what I chose. I've been working on my sweet potatoes behind me, trying to get them in containers so that they can start putting out roots, or so they can get their slips to grow straight. Right now they're curled around the potato. I'll show you. Like that one. They got to get straight enough and big enough that I can break them off to actually put the slips in water and root them. I've tried putting them in the dirt before and my potato just rotted. I think it was the wrong time of the year to try to do it. But then I got this one too that Susie sent. Look at all the slips already growing out on it. So I just put toothpicks in it to hold it up and put it in a plastic container of water. It needs to be outside on the table or somewhere so it gets sun. I may move them out there a little bit later. But then I got these little red ones that my anonymous sender sent. And this already got a slip on the top of it. Look at that. And this one has too. It's got little bitty ones coming up on the top of it. You can see them right there. Not very big, but you can see they're protruding out of the potato. But these are 2 different types of potatoes. They're sweet potatoes, but these are like the darker red ones. And these other ones are more like the, when you cut them open, the orange looking inside. And I've never grown sweet potatoes before, so this is going to be a first. And then, I've got the one out on the porch that's been there for about a week, and it's got pretty good size shoots on it yet, but they're not big enough to break off to stick in a container to root yet. Yeah, I had read that you could put them in the dirt and grow them that way. So I tried it one year with just one potato. It started putting out shoots and started to grow, but I guess maybe I kept the dirt too moist because my potato ended up rotten and the plant never did anything. And like I said, it could have been the wrong time of the year too. I don't know. But this time I thought I'd try putting them in the water. And there's Ruth Star. Good morning, Ruth Star. How are you today? Have some breakfast with me. But my watermelon vines are starting to grow across the yard. So every once in a while I got to go up there and pull them up, put them back around the hill where they're growing to try to keep them from getting entangled in the grass. And I don't know if it's going to do any good to mow or not. I'll have a sweet roll. Wrong thing for breakfast this morning, but oh well. I didn't want to cook before I went out to mow. Oh, update on my water heater. I did get Double L Plumbing. They came out and checked the water heater yesterday. They figured out what parts it needed. They're going to have to order them because they don't keep them in stock. And it might take a few days for them to get here. I don't know how long it'll be. And then they'll come back and put the parts on the water heater and fix it. In the meantime, I'm taking cold showers. It's not too bad. It's just that when you first get in that cold water and it hits you, you just like, oh my God, Then after you're in there for a few minutes, you kind of get used to it and it's okay. But that first initial shock will get you. But at least it'll be hopefully fixed when the parts come. And they are the people that originally put my water heater in. So I was lucky that I got hold of them and, yeah, they're going to take care of it. That sounds good, Ruth Star. Fried green tomatoes for breakfast. I've never thought about that. I'm not wanting to pick any of my green tomatoes yet. I want to let them ripen up. Now, at the end of the season, usually I have a bunch of tomatoes that don't get ripe before it freezes. And then I'll just clean the bush. I'll pick all of them. And then I usually have my fried green tomatoes, or I'll make my chow chow with them. This is really good, but I know that's not something you should have for breakfast, but oh well. Devil made me do it. Yeah, I'm running out of space to put stuff. I mean, my porch is full of pots. And I got that one glass with my sweet potato in and out there. I don't know where I'm going to put these, but they do need to go outside so they can get sun. I may put them on the patio. I don't know. I could put them on the table that's on the patio. And I know little buddy likes to get up there and lay down, but I can put him on one side and he can have the other side. Yeah, I hate to get out there and get that mower going. And there's Janet Delaney. Good morning, Janet. Afternoon there in England. Oh my goodness, shocking weather for summer. Love January. So then, Janet, if I go live like at 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, you're probably in bed asleep by then, if it's already afternoon there. Yeah, I'm just going to try to finish my coffee, which I only got a couple of sips left. Go out there and get that mower out and see if I can start mowing. I was out there yesterday evening and I didn't have on a mask, and that's why I'm coughing this morning. It's 10 past 3 here, Linda. We're 6 hours in front of you. Oh, okay. So, yeah, if I went live at 7, it would be like 8 or 9 o'clock there where you're at. No, it would be, yeah, it'd be like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning for you. That's one reason I kind of jump around and go live at different times when I don't even schedule it, is because I know there's so many people that watch my channel from other countries, and the time difference is so drastic till usually they're in bed asleep if I go live at 7 or 8 at night. Yeah, you'd be fast asleep. I would be too at that time, probably. Yeah, I didn't have a video recorded to post this morning. So I decided I'd just go live. So what have you two ladies been up to today? Other than I know Janet's gonna, no, Ruth Star said she was gonna fry her some green tomatoes for breakfast. That sounds real good. Making me want fried green tomatoes. Headband, I gotta go out and mow. And I'm already sweating drinking this coffee. It's a bandana. They're real popular here in Texas with this Texas heat. You got to do something to keep the sweat out of your eyes so you can see where you're going. How's Gladys this morning? Okay. Yeah, I need to get out there and mow. I got to mow around my watermelon vines. They're starting to run across the yard, and I don't want them entangled in knee-deep grass and flowers. So I thought I might get out there and mow them down and just let them grow across the ground after I mow. I was debating whether to put weed barrier cloth down or not. I don't know if it'll do any good. I mean, it would take a lot because I've got the 4 hills kind of spread out. They're not in just one row. And I wasn't thinking about putting weed barrier or anything down when I planted them. So next time I plant them, I'll see if I can put them more in a row. That way it's not going to be so difficult to put weed barrier down. Okay, Janet, you have a good day. And there's Adventures of Backwoods Living. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? I know I don't usually, but I had to get up. I wanted to fix coffee and get something in my stomach before I went out there to mow. And I didn't have a video recorded or edited to post this morning. So I decided I'd just go live. I'll post another video later today, maybe, or tonight. Or at least get one recorded for tomorrow. Cool. Adventures of Backwoods Living. I see you got a channel similar to mine. You do cooking and gardening and just kind of a little everything. Yeah, she might be sleeping. She's been having a rough time sleeping at night, just like me. I did sleep a little off and on last night, but the night before I was up all night. I couldn't sleep at all. So it doesn't make you feel too good the next day, when you get up and you're wore out from not sleeping. Yes, ma'am. I've been watching a while. Enjoy your videos. Well, thank you. Thank you, Adventures of Backwoods Living. What state are you in? If you don't mind me asking. Florida, okay. That's a good state to have a garden in, I think. And there's Ashley. Good morning, Ashley. Yeah, you've been up at night too, Gladys. I wouldn't want to be in Florida when the hurricanes hit, though. I used to, I'm from North Carolina, right on the East Coast, right along Carolina and Wrightsville Beach, Wilmington, that area. So I know what those hurricanes are. We used to get them every year. But I think a lot of times Florida gets hit harder than the coast of North Carolina does. I mean, it just depends on the hurricane, I guess. Ashley said her moonflower plant's finally growing. Well, that's good. You'll always have moonflowers now because they should come up every year. Sometimes it takes them a while to come up. Like I thought most of the ones in my half wine barrel was dead, and all the sunflowers came up and they're blooming. And now I've noticed I've got moonflowers coming up in there. So they were running late for some reason. Because the ones out in the rock garden are as tall as I am and, already been blooming. And I have got that rock garden where the moonflowers are, it's full of morning glory. The vines started coming in there and I started pulling them out. It don't do any good to pull them out. You still got them. They're everywhere out there. I planted those morning glories years ago, and for some reason I thought they didn't come up, and maybe they didn't right away. But then the next year, oh my God, my yard's full of them. My whole easement back here behind the house is full of morning glories. Everything in my yard is going to be full of morning glories. Yeah, they're pretty, but oh my God, they take over. And basically all you can do is mow them down. If they get up on a rose bush, you just well leave it alone because you can pull it off and break it off and dig it out, and it's still going to come back. Oh, they're your favorites, Ashley? Well, I got a rock garden full of them. They're all growing up all over the moonflower plants out there. They're just going to have to come up with some kind of a peaceful existence, I guess. It's crazy how they're growing out there. It really is. I'm going to get my tripod and we'll go out there. Oh. Have to get my boots on. Get my tripod set up and I can move my camera. Sorry about that, y'all. I covered up the lens. I had my boots on when I was mowing the other day, and I put a blister on my heel. So I've got it bandaged up. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to walk, though, with these boots on today. I hear the birds. I'm not going to be able to see the chat very well right now because, you know, it fades in and out. I'm not looking at my laptop. But look at this. I mowed down my blanket flowers that were out here on the ground. I should have left them. It looked pretty good with them there. Look at all the morning glory growed up all over the moonflower plant. It's everywhere out here. Evidently they like it together. See all of it right there? And I got squash plants back there behind them in them big pots, and I can't even hardly see them anymore. I'm not going to even know if I get squash on them or not. I tell you, when things want to grow here, they grow. And look at all the morning glory up on the sunflowers. Look at that. I mean, there's no way you can stop it either. Oh yeah, I got me a squash. Right in there. I don't know if y'all can see it. That little white thing back there. Looks like a sweet dumpling. But see the squash plant over there? You can't see it for the blanket flowers and the moonflowers and the morning glory. Now the morning glory is going up the tree trunk. I figured, well, it'll be pretty if it grows all up the tree trunk and blooms. I'll have flowers up in the trees. It looks like it wants to rain again. Look at that. And you know, we never did do a garden update. But look at all the blanket flowers back there. And that's where my watermelons are. But look at there. All my sunflowers are living on my property line. Some of my rose bushes are. And I got dahlias coming, not dahlias, but zinnias coming up. And I forgot what that other flower is right there. I didn't put a stake with a name on it. But look at that. And see, I've got some kind of a melon here in this pot. And see how it's vining? I need to get the grass mowed because it's trying to, you know, climb out all over the yard. So, and I got zinnias in here. And it's blooming, so I'm going to have something on it. But yeah, I got part of it mowed, but look how fast it's growing. You can see kind of the line right there. From here straight to the corner of the patio. That's where I mowed, and on the left side is not mowed yet. So I got to do all that. And I got corn coming up around my bird feeders. Because, you know, the bird seed had corn in it. Birds love that. My sunflower there. But see, look at all the blanket flowers. I don't want to mow them down. Oh. And I've got squash finally coming on that one. I got a pepper plant in there with it. And my squash plant here died. I don't know what the problem was. I'm going to have to replant me a seed in there, I guess. And there is the Rose of Sharon right there. I mean, everything else is really growing. I mean, this is not doing too good. I mean, the vine is growing up the trellis, but it's not looking as good as the one does around there in the shade. But I'm trying to keep it watered, so. And look at there. I got some Roma tomatoes on there, green ones. My rose bushes here. Yeah, I've got them. And look at all the grass in the rose bush. Like I said, what I'm going to have to do, I think, is take the rocks out in front of the rose bushes and just keep it mowed up to the rose bush. Just not hit the rose bush with the mower. Or maybe the weed eater. Look at all the blanket flowers. They're all over my yard. I think they're beautiful. My rose bushes. I guess this is a good way to do a garden update, isn't it? Just do it live. And I got my weed barrier finally finished in here. Some of it's different. The one I bought is different than the one that was sent to me. But it don't matter. It's all covering the ground anyway to keep the weeds out. My basil. And that's just regular basil there. That little squash plant's not doing too good. And I think that's a zucchini. That's a sweet dumpling. And for some reason it don't look good. It looks like it might be trying to drown. My peppers. Those are my purple peppers. And like I said, I've never planted purple peppers before, so I'm anxious to see what they're going to do. And look at there. Sunflowers trying to grow up through the top of the canopy. It's gotten so big. Well, thank you guys. Say it's an amazing garden. I mean, that's crazy. It's growing up through there. And my tomatoes here. I don't know what kind these are. The name has washed off, faded off of the stake, so I can't tell. And there's a flower that I bought years ago, and the seeds got mixed up in some of my dirt, so they come up everywhere, which I don't mind. I mean, at least I don't have to go buy another plant. I got flowers coming up anyway. But I got 3 or 4 tomatoes on this little plant. Squash plant there. And there's more of my purple tomatoes. I got 2 buckets of purple, not tomatoes, but peppers. The purple bell pepper. And see, I put my other 32-gallon compost or water container there. My kale. I've been trying to notice it, and I see I got bugs getting back on it. I'm going to have to mix me up some vinegar and soap and stuff and spray them before these bugs get to them. I was going to spray them yesterday, but it looked like it was going to rain again. And I don't want to spray them if it's going to rain on it. Look at that. That's one of those giant kales. And look at here at my little golden cherry tomatoes. They're ripe. These are. Try one. I love walking through the garden and then just picking something like this and eating it. It's so good. That is good. And look at this. It's already up to the top of the stake here. And this part of it too, look. I'm going to have to move the... I want to show you my new addition. Right there. I haven't named this one yet, but it started hanging around this week. The only problem is he fights little buddy for his food. So I have to make sure I let little buddy in the house to feed him. And this one is a male, and he's not been fixed. So I don't want him hanging around here. I don't want kittens. I don't want some female to start hanging around here with him and end up with kittens. We got enough stray cats now. Don't need any more. No, he's brushing up against my tripod. That's what little buddy would do. Brush up against the tripod and knock my camera over. See if I can raise this up a little bit. I kind of let the tiebacks grow with the tomato. I knew he'd do it. Sorry about that, y'all. The cat knocked the tripod over. And now my keys are gone. I had my keys hanging on it. See, it's getting to the place where I can't do nothing because of these cats out here. Now, what was I doing here? My picture's upside down. Now, let's see if I can turn it back around. Now, that's better. The picture got flipped upside down, y'all. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what I'm going to do with these cats. I mean, I take care of little buddy. I can't take care of every stray cat that comes up. We got Goldie that hangs around here sometimes, but I think she belongs to somebody. That'll help. That tomato was really good, y'all. Ooh, that would have been so good in a salad. And look at here. Those are ripening, and we'll have to start picking some tomatoes pretty soon. I thought that bush was going to get bigger than that. That's the reason I put it at that trellis. But it looks like it's a determinant when it's not going to get very big. And then I still got that great big one right there. Look at that. Look at the size of this. Look at the size of that compared to my hand. That's a big tomato, y'all. And it's the only one on the whole bush. I've never seen a tomato plant do that, where it only puts out one tomato. I mean, it may put out more in time. And there's some of my peppers that came up from the slices. I mean, the pepper seed I took out of the cut pepper. I'm getting jalapenos. Look at there. I got 3 jalapenos on that one. When I said I'm going to come out here and harvest my okra, and I haven't done it. But see all those peppers? That's the ones that we planted that seed, you know, from the cut peppers. And there's more of them here. And here I pulled them all out because look how big they were getting. And I left these 3 in here to grow. And I took the other ones and transplanted them on the other side of the garden over there. And I got to start pulling those out too because they're getting pretty good size. And look at the kale here. And remember, not long ago, I harvested it all. Man, I scalped the plants. And look at them now. And look at this. Morning glory everywhere. But I do have okra. You can see it right there. I got okra in there. I've got okra. I need to cut it because I think it's already too tough because this is the smaller okra. I should have harvested it the other day. It's gotten too tough now. But I need to cut it off and let some more grow on it. My volunteer tomato plant. And I pulled one out of there because it was like 2 or 3. And I left the one. And it's growing with my turnips. My beets. My yellow beets. And there's more kale. And there's my, I don't remember the name of that now. But I couldn't decide where to plant up here with the sunflower. And I don't know what that is coming up there. If it's some of the seed that I planted in there, I think it was parsnips or something, or what that is. But there's more kale. And I got a little jalapeno on that little plant. And see, I was going to bring those other potatoes out, the ones that Susie sent, because I'm going to plant, I think, that pot with the little potatoes and plant 1 or 2 of these others in the onions. And look at that banana tree since I raised the tool and made it bigger. I'll put it in the ground, but I don't think it would survive in the ground. And then I'd have morning glory growing all over it. Look at the morning glory. The whole place is covered in it, y'all. Morning glory and blanket flowers. Indian paint blanket flowers. This cat, I'm going to step on him. But see, my watermelon vines are vining out. They're getting out in the bushes, so I need to cut this stuff. I just don't know. You think I should put the weed barrier down around it, or should I just mow it? What do y'all think? And look at this, all this morning glory. Did y'all ever answer? I don't know if anybody did because the chat doesn't stay up. Do you think I should put weed barrier around my watermelon on the ground, or should I just mow it? And there's Claire Quinn, Neil. And see my watermelon vines? I just don't know if I should mow, cut these blanket flowers down and get them out of the way, or put weed barrier cloth down. What do y'all think? Which one should I do? And see, there's the watermelon vine. I got 3 different types of watermelon. Mow, she says. And it's blooming, so I should have watermelons. I got black diamond. I've got, now I can't even remember the names, but I know I got 3 different kinds. Get out of my watermelon vine. Yeah, I need to mow all this. And I know I'll be mowing down blanket flowers, but I can't help it. I can leave what I can leave, I guess. But I wanted to get out here this morning and start mowing before it got too hot. I mean, it's already hot. It's 80 degrees out here. But it's going to get even hotter. And there's my walking stick kale. And a tomato. Kale here. My onions. And I got romaine lettuce. Look at that thing. I'm just leaving it for the birds. Oh, look at this. I got a red onion. Look at that. First one I've seen pop out of the ground or out of the dirt. And these are my leeks. They're going to be so tough I won't be able to eat them, yes. But they need to be pulled out. And I got a yellow squash there. And there's all my turnips. It's just taking over the carrots. And the little tomato plant that voluntarily come up there. Look at this cat. Gets right in front of me and starts rolling around. I'll be stepped on him in a minute. And look at all of the morning glory. It's everywhere. Morning glory is everywhere. Up the trees, you name it, it's there. Look at that. Look at that one. Grew up that weed and just don't have nowhere else to go, I guess. No, that's not Little Buddy. This is another cat that came up. And he fights Little Buddy for his food. And here is my beans. I don't have as many foot-long beans in there as I thought I did. There's some other kind of pole bean. And I don't like the pole bean that's in there. The beans are tough. They don't get very big. But the pole beans are really good. I mean, the foot-long ones, they're tender, like this. I don't know if you can see that. Like this one here. But these little ones, it's supposed to be a pole bean, and it looks good, but you bite into it, and it's tougher than a piece of wood. I don't want to plant those anymore. I wanted this thing full of my pole beans, like this one. And I let that one go, so I'm going to have to use it for seed, I guess. And my walking stick kale. I've got purple walking stick kale, and then I've got the green one. And I'm going to plant peppers or something in this tower, right along with my kale and stuff. I got a tomato plant growing there, kale, and there's some kind of melon back there, but it's not wanting to do too good. There's one of my peppers I've transplanted yesterday. Tomato, kale, squash. I'm getting hung up on everything with this tripod. I gotta go check something. I'll be right back. I'll let you look at the part of the garden. That cat's going to drive me crazy. I think I'm going to lower this tripod because it gets in my way trying to... Now. But, look at him. Yeah, I don't know where this cat come from. Somebody just probably dumped him out. I don't know where little buddy is this morning. And I got I don't know if that's a cucumber or a melon vine right there. But it sure it's all ready to the top of the stake that I put in there. And I planted those little plants coming up. That's red clematis. And then I've got a caladium, and I've got a mandevilla. I think that's a yellow mandevilla coming that I planted. And I just left that. It's just a bush. Just a evergreen bush, I guess. And then I planted me a tomato plant in there. Look, a tomato pepper. I said I'll see how it does up in there. And then I've got yellow mandevilla that I planted there. That, I guess it's caladium or whatever they call those things. And I planted another clematis plant in there, but it's kind of wilted down. Because, you know, the purple one died. It was at the top. A worm or something must have chewed through the plant because it killed it. But I got the lavender one still alive there. There's little buddy. He's here. It's just that this other one's trying to take over. See, little buddy's a darker orange than this other one. Even though the other one's got white on him too. Here and there. He's not leaving. See, he's whiter looking. And he's younger. He's a smaller cat. Somebody must just thrown him out as a kitten. Rock garden, I got daylilies blooming in this section of the rock garden. I was trying to get it completely full of daylilies, and I got Mexican plant growing in it. I've got a few marigolds that are trying to grow right there. It's completely packed full of daylilies, and now I've only got like that one little plant of daylily left up there because it was so hot and dry last year and I couldn't water that it just dried out the bulbs, I think. And I got a caladium up there. Now I'm probably calling it a wrong name, I don't know, but it's one of those bulbs that grow in the shade. And see, I've got daylilies all here. And I got one of those planted there that's coming up. I decided I'd see how it would do over here. Thank God I haven't got any of that morning glory here yet. It would be taken over. But probably eventually this far up in the yard. My mums. My white rose bush that's not blooming. My other knockout rose bush that survived from the cutting. Little buddy's turning around and kind of inching toward me, kind of following me a little bit. I had this rock garden full of mums, daylilies, and a whole bunch of other kind of bulbs that I planted. It was crammed full, and it looked beautiful a couple of years ago. All of them came up and bloomed. Oh, it was fabulous. And most of the bulbs didn't come back up this year. A lot of the daylilies have, but other ones didn't. And I got sunflowers out here. They're going to drop seeds, and I'll probably be overrun with sunflowers. And there's lilies that are blooming. Yellow ones. This color. I had every color daylily that they have planted in this rock garden. And you can see what's barely come up this year. I got gladiola still back in the back. But mostly nothing came up in the center. And it was crammed full of flower bulbs. So something ate the bulbs, or they just dried out and withered away. And I got to cut this tree stump back. I'm getting all kind of growth coming out from the tree stump. I probably should not have let those guys cut that tree down, because I've had problems with all that growth coming out from the bottom of the stump ever since. I should have just made them leave my tree alone. Oak tree roots coming up in the rock garden. Little buddy, what do you think? Huh? You gonna say hello to everybody? Here comes the other cat. Look at this. Little buddy does not like the idea of that cat hanging around, because he wants to fight with him. And I don't know what to do about it. I figured if I didn't feed him, he'd go away. He'd go somewhere else where somebody was feeding him something. Yeah, my poor rock garden don't look too good this year. Not as good as it has looked in the years past. But it was just because of the drought last year. Look at that. Two babies hanging out. Yeah, little buddy, two babies hanging out. Well, let's go see the rest of it. Yeah, I had mums, the lavender colored mums, all over this rock garden. This one on the side. Yeah, we need coffee, Gladys. Only I just drank mine. I don't have coffee here. Yeah, I'll fix you a cup of coffee. And see, this is the rock garden on this side. And it's got a flower growing here, but it's been so long ago that I planted it. And I planted it over there. I don't remember. And I don't know if that's a good thing. You know, these sunflowers are going to drop seed. And I'll have all kind of volunteer sunflowers coming up next year from these plants. So I'll probably be overrun with sunflowers. Look at the size of the trunk on this sunflower. Look at the size of that. It's about 2 inches in diameter. I had to stake it up because the wind was blowing it over. I had to give it support. It was so heavy. And there's one. And I got my zinnias. And my rose bushes are hidden. I got zinnias blooming there. Got their orange ones, pink ones, and those are those cut and come again zinnias. My knockout roses. More zinnias. Sunflowers. My sunflowers are making a privacy wall, basically. Right along this path on the side of the house. And you can Ponderosa pink tomatoes out of here. I just haven't had time to do it. I've got geraniums coming up. And the lettuce on the bottom. I still don't have purple basil. So we'll see. It takes a while for it to come up. And there's Cherokee purple tomatoes I got to get planted. Shasta daisy. My broken 4 o'clocks. I'm not sure where to put these. Where's a good place to plant those 4 o'clocks? Y'all have any suggestions? And there is my ace. I could plant some of them in the the big green pots along the property line, because they're supposed to come up every year and reseed themselves, from what I understand. My aloe vera, my perpetual spinach. And I got more peppers coming up here. These are the red sweet peppers. And they're all coming up from the seed that I cut out of peppers, y'all. I didn't buy those seeds. And see, moonflowers are coming in that pot with my sunflowers. That's where I originally planted moonflowers when I first got them started. Oh, the live stream is freezing? Oh, sorry. How is it now? And there's my hollyhocks. I had to stake them up because the wind was knocking them over. Still freezing? Good now, Joe says. Well, hi, Joe Bonadonna. Well, there's a little bit of breeze blowing. Well, I didn't show you all the garden. Let me go around the back. Is it still freezing? Hi, Joe. Welcome to chat. Yeah, I'm probably going to put pepper plants or something in there. Those tomato plants get too tall. There's some that get about 12 foot tall, and I think I already got a pepper plant right there. It came up voluntarily. And I may plant some in my cinder blocks. Cut the little blanket flowers back and plant my peppers in there. There's a pepper plant right there already planted. Well, and see, I don't think my raspberry bush is going to do anything. I need to put it back in the ground. I'll probably never get raspberries off of it if I don't put it in the ground. And see, these are some I planted yesterday, my tomatoes. And those are just those red slicing tomatoes I cut a slice off of, and the seeds came up, and I put a pepper plant in there. I pulled a couple of those tomato plants up that came up voluntary and moved them. And I got jalapenos on this bush. Got more peppers coming up there from seed. I got pepper. I'm going to have peppers just like every year if I don't have nothing else. And there's a tomato. You see, most of these tomato plants get pretty tall, so you have to stake them up. And I planted a tomato and a pepper there. And I still got to plant something over there. I might put a sweet potato in there. May put a sweet potato in that black pot. Well, no, it's got to be something bigger than that because you'll want potatoes in it. And since I can't plant them in the ground, there's another tomato plant. They're really taking off. And look at this. I told you it would happen. I've already got morning glory all here. Morning glory is taking over. So let that be a word of warning to everybody. Be careful where you plant morning glory. And there's my Hungarian wax pepper. That's one of two that have survived. That one right there, I don't know. It's so tiny. It may survive, it may not. But these are the only two that are still even trying to live. I planted peppers all in my lettuce because my lettuce wasn't looking too good. But the peppers look okay, and I just planted them yesterday. And they're not even wilted over today. And there's a pepper plant. It's a jalapeno. It's got little jalapenos on it. My purple walking stick kale. I put peppers down there. I got perpetual spinach. Am I still freezing, y'all? And those are two little plants. I haven't yet decided where I'm going to plant them, so I've just left them sitting there. Tomatoes and peppers. I put an Ace 55 in there. And then I got one here, gold medal tomato, and a red slicing tomato. And I don't know which one survived because I had two plants. But that one survived and it's growing good. I got kale, tomato plant, and that's a Ponderosa pink right there. My rosemary. That's a Better Boy right there, tomato plant. I got a pepper there, bell pepper, I think. And that's the Ace 55 I planted yesterday. A Better Boy's planted there with this pepper. And I got more peppers coming up from seed. Got some there coming up from seed. And my purple kale never come up in that little pot from seed. So I don't know. Plant something else in there. More peppers and tomato. Another tomato plant with a pepper. My walking onions, Egyptian walking onions. Look at little buddy. He follows me around and just hangs out. Am I still freezing, y'all? Or is the reception okay now? And there's a tomato. And I think that was from a slice of tomato there that the seeds came up. And I got some kind of melon here. I don't know. I planted a rutabaga in there, and I got something else coming up in here. I put a pepper plant in there with my lettuce. And I put mandevilla in each one of these pots with my clematis. So I can't wait to see both of them growing up in here. Trying to get it to go around the vine of the clematis, but we'll see. No matter what I do, it's going to have a mind of its own, I guess. But I got tomatoes here. And like I said, my raspberry bush. And I think I'm really going to have to put it, because there was the blooms, but I don't think it's ever going to have any raspberries on it. I really don't. And I don't know if you need two plants to, like, one plant pollinates the other, or what the deal is with the raspberries. But I had a black raspberry and a red raspberry. The red raspberry survived. The black one died. And here's my cucumbers. I call this my cucumber patch. And it's growing like crazy. It probably don't have enough room, but I do have that cucumber in there. Right there. It's not quite ready to be picked. I planted several different kinds of cucumbers here, and there's one. I planted the small pickling ones. I planted straight. I'm sorry I lost y'all. I had an update come up on and it wouldn't let me back on my live until I got rid of it. If it's messing up too bad or freezing or whatever, I can end go live another time. Look at this. Look at this cucumber. Isn't that weird? Look at that. He's funny looking, but he's good to eat. I don't know why it grew that way. That's crazy. That goes to show you got to look real good because you'll have cucumbers and you won't even see them. I think I get better Wi-Fi reception out in town than I do here at my house. I really do. But there's my squash plants there and really taking off. Or squash or zucchini, I don't remember. It may be the zucchini. And look at the pepper plants, volunteers that are coming up in there. No, that's yellow squash. My walking onions. I've got to come out here and trellis my tomatoes up. Look at this. I mean, they're growing like crazy, but they're growing out of the trellises. See this? These are some of the grape tomatoes. And these things get like 12 foot tall. They grow up my trellis and then they bend over and grow down to the ground and then they start coming back up again. It's crazy how they grow. And this one, the wind broke off and it's still growing. I probably need to break it off and stick it in the dirt down here. It'll root. It'll re-root. Here, I'm going to put this down and y'all can see what I'm doing. See, this piece broke, so I just cut it, finished cutting it off, and I'm going to stick it down here in this pot and it'll root. It'll start another plant. See, y'all, if you have tomato plants that do that, they break off, don't waste your tomato plant. Just take it and continue to break it off and just stick it down in a pot. And it'll start a whole new plant for you. And this one's growing like crazy. And look at their pepper plants coming up. Volunteer pepper plants right there. So I won't be able to plant nothing else in that pot with those tomatoes. It's already got peppers growing. I found that peppers grow really well with tomatoes. There's another one there, a little one. And look at that pepper plant. It's got 3 good-sized jalapenos on it already. And there's one back there. Tomato plant. I mean, the tomato plants are really growing. Pepper plant here. And I transplanted a couple of my eggplant to this pot where my asparagus was. Because, you know, the asparagus is pretty much done with for the season. So I put an eggplant there and an eggplant back there. Because, man, this pot was overflowing with eggplants. So I pulled a couple out and transplanted them. And that is a canary yellow melon, that little vine. I don't know where it's going to end up growing to. But I don't want it to go back there in all the weeds. And this tomato plant is getting blooms. And I don't know what happened to this. It was getting plenty of water, maybe too much from the rain, I don't know. But the squash plant started to die out. So I've planted an eggplant with it. I put an eggplant up here, and I put one right there. And I said if the squash plant comes back and survives, that's okay, and if it doesn't, that's okay. Because see, that one started coming back to life. That one there started coming back to life. And I got a tomato there, a green one. Tomato over here. But each one of those plants only has one tomato so far. That's weird. I've never had a tomato plant that just put one tomato out and then you don't see any more. It's had blooms on it, but they evidently, I don't know what's going on with it. But look at all this morning glory. What am I going to do, y'all, with all the morning glory? It's just, look at this. It grows up all to the pots. It tries to get in the pots. So that's a word of caution to y'all. I love morning glory, but be careful where you plant it. And this sunflower broke right there, but it was still alive, so whoops, tried to tie it up. And it's got flowers blooming on it. I probably need to put a piece of tape around the broke spot. I've done that before. I've taped it up and it would grow back together. I've done that with a lot of plants before. But look at my walking onions, y'all. They're producing new plants. And see, that's how you start new plants of your walking onions. You break these bulbs off and you plant them in another pot. And they'll come up every year. And I haven't been able to do it. I haven't had time. I put 3 pepper plants there because my green onions drowned out. This is a cucumber vine with my tomato plant. Don't ask me what possessed me to do this. Something possessed me to plant a cucumber vine with a tomato plant. I guess just to see how it would work. But I do crazy stuff like that. And this is a cucumber. Oh, look, it's got a cucumber. I just noticed that. It's got 2 cucumbers in there. I don't think you can see it. Let me move this camera around. Look at that. There's a cucumber. There's 2. One right here at the end of my finger, and then one right behind it, right there. So I got 2 little cucumbers on that little vine. And it's at the very top. Are y'all still with me? Am I fading out? Am I freezing still? What's going on with my live? Let me know. I'm watching the screen, so I'll get your response. I should plant something else in here with these sunflowers, because these sunflowers are not doing good. I think they got too much. We're here. Still blurry. Oh, I'm sorry. So I probably should go ahead and end the live and go ahead and get my mowing done. I was going to just set the camera up and let y'all watch me mow, but if it's all blurry, I don't want to do that. Yeah, if it's still blurry, I don't want to make you watch me mow and the screen's all blurry. It might do better when I'm still, I don't know. Is it blurry when I'm walking around or when I'm standing still like I am right now? Still blurry. It's not blurry all the time. So what do y'all want to do? You want to watch me mow, or you want me to end the live and we can get together later? I hate for you to watch it if it's blurry. And I'm liable to set the camera down on the tripod and the cats knock it over like they've already done. Because they're following me. Look at this. And there comes little Buddy back there. Little Buddy don't like it. He's jealous of this other cat. Because this other cat will stick right to my feet when I'm out here. But the poor little cat, he's starving. I couldn't help but feed him the other day, and that was the wrong thing to do. Once you feed them, they don't ever leave. Well, do y'all want to watch me mow, or you just want me to end the live and I can get back with another live later on? Because I don't want y'all just to stay in the chat when it's all blurry. I guess the chat will come back up any minute now. I know it looks like I'm losing people. I'm down to 19. It's not blur. Later, please. Okay, later, and your camera will be safe. Okay, well, I'm so happy y'all hung out with me, this morning when I didn't plan this live. I'll try to go live later on today, maybe this evening or sometime, or if I don't, I'll just do another video and post it in the morning. But you know me, I'm liable to pop up on the screen anytime going live when I don't schedule it. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with me and putting up with the blurry picture and the freezing picture. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye now. Love y'all.